Hello everyone, this is Dan with yet another Minecraft snippet. Now before we begin, I'd like to give a shout out to Sai Rao for mentioning that this should in theory be possible, and while I had to do a bit of work to actually get it working, it turned out to be in fact possible. Now many of you have seen videos with designs being shown in empty worlds and probably wondered how to do the same, so here I am showing the absolute simplest way to accomplish that. No mods, no tools, and virtually no time needed. So obviously we start off with the single player create new world. We want the game mode to be creative with more world options. We don't want any structures and we want it to be super flat. Then going into customize, we have the selection of various layers in here, so we can go into preset and actually change that up. So the village at the end just means we want villages to be there, but we just don't want them obviously. So the first number over here, the number 2, is just the version number, I guess. Then the next number over here after the semicolon is the list of layers. So the 7 there means bedrock, 1 layer, then 2 layers, I guess, or 2 blocks high layer of dirt, and then a single layer of grass. And that 1 is actually the biome number. So number 1 is plains. So we can actually all remove that and set this to 0. Actually, in Minecraft, air does have an ID code, and that ID is 0, meaning that if we do this and use preset, we'll have a layer of air. As you can imagine, this will create just an empty area, but furthermore, we can go into here and notice they've added a bit more information here, and that one just set it to plains, but we can actually change this and set the biome to be whatever we want for our design. So you can use 0 for ocean, meaning, you know, it works more or less like plains. If you want 1 as plains, that's fine, that's default. But you can also use 12 for ice plains, meaning that if you're doing like an ice farm or something where you want snow, you can set it to ice plains and you'd have snow and water freezing. You can use 14, which is Mushroom Island, so whatever the special facts are about Mushroom Island, that would give you the Mushroom Island biome. Then you can also use 8 as Nether. This would make the overworld actually more or less be considered as part of the Nether, and while there won't be any Nether, actual buildings in there or anything like that with fortresses, what this will do is allow the mobs from the Nether to actually spawn in there, meaning you'd get, ghasts and zombie pigmen and all the other ones from there. You can also use 9 as the end, which will enable mobs like, Endermen to spawn, and that's about it. Note that in all of those cases, as far as I believe, the mobs won't spawn if light level is, not appropriate to them, so there'll still be actually a day-night cycle, and while the Nether won't really care about that, in the end, the Endermen will only spawn during the night. But anyway, let's actually use the end just to show it to you, and we'll use that 0 as air. Alright, so let's have that as done and create new world. Obviously you want to start jumping right off the moment and kind of start floating up, because otherwise you just fall into the darkness. Let's move that back to here, and as you can see, the sky is kind of all black because this is now part of the end, but there's still a sun, so there's still sunlight. So that's something. But anyway, so as you can see, we're on a completely blank world, but we want a block to start building from. So let's do that at the moment. So you want slash and type out set block command. Just use 3 of those so that'll set it right where we are. And we'll use block as dirt. So we just set a block of dirt right here. And there we go. It's actually done. You can now go into here, get your iron or whatever, and start building up whatever design suits your fancy, I guess. Obviously remember that if you want it to be design, you should probably set the difficulty to peaceful, slash game rule, do daylight cycle false, slash and lastly slash time set for 1000, which will set the time to be more or less like, noon-ish or something. So it's perfect light condition that time won't pass, so you can keep building and it'll always be daylight, and there will obviously not be any mob spawning because it's peaceful. So yeah, that's actually it, and I hope you enjoyed it. So as you can see, there's no mods, no tools, and no time needed to do this, which is awesome. I mean, before this I had this special world set up which was empty, as in I deleted several chunks worth of blocks in it, and that's the one I used, but from now on I'll be using this, and I hope you will be too. This was Dan, it's been fun, and so, you know, like, subscribe, and everything, and I'm signing off. See you guys!